I'm excited because I'm on school holidays and I thought I might share with you what I get up to for the next week. My name's Sarah, I live in Melbourne, Australia, and I am a music teacher and a mum, and I love sewing and knitting in my free time. So for the next 7 days, I have most of the time to myself. I have 2 children, but I'm separated from their dad, and so for the next week they'll be with him, and then they'll be spending the second week of the school holidays with me. So I have quite a few things I'd like to get done over the next week. I have quite a bit of schoolwork to do, but I want to balance that with some knitting and sewing as well. And I do have a particular project I'm hoping to get started. And that is the Tamarack Jacket by Grainline Studios. I actually bought this pattern about 4 years ago, but I still haven't gotten around to giving it a go. And I'm determined that this month will be the month when I do. This pattern has been on my Make 9 the last couple of years, but this year I had a particular date I wanted to make mine by, and that is the 25th of April, because I will be attending a dawn service that morning and I want a nice warm jacket to be able to wear to that. So as part of my role as a music teacher, one of my choirs will be singing a reflective piece and the New Zealand and Australian national anthems at that event. And the coat that I have at the moment, it's very practical. I wear it all the time. I've had it since 2007 and it's still in great condition, but it's one of those ones, it's waterproof and it's quite noisy. And if I'm waving my arms around conducting, it's just not ideal for a nice, peaceful, solemn occasion. So I'm hoping a quilted coat would be really practical for that occasion, but also that I'd get lots of use out of it in other times as well. So I have bought some new fabric for that particular project, but it's quite fancy. I bought an olive green heavy linen and then a beautiful Lady McElroy fabric to be the lining. So it wasn't cheap, and I definitely don't want to get to the end and for it not to fit. So I've decided to make a 12 version as well. And for that, I am using a fabric that I already had for the lining, and then I just picked up some less expensive linen from Spotlight. So I'll show you. So the fabric that I already have is, from memory, it's a mid-weight cotton, and the designer is Jennifer Buron. And I bought it about 4 or 5 years ago when I was very new to sewing. And I'm not sure what the print was called or anything like that, but you've got these ladies and palm trees on kind of a minty kind of background. So I've never wanted to make that into a garment. It's just never been on my, I'm not sure why I bought it in the first place. I mean, I really like the fabric, but I just can't see myself wearing it like as a shirt or a dress or anything like that. So I thought it could work really well as a lining. And then I chose a color in this fabric to be the outer shell of the jacket. And I ended up deciding to go with this pink. So I'll need to get that in the wash this afternoon so I can get started on this project. But this is a linen rayon blend from Spotlight. All their linens were 25% off, so a little bit of a saving today on that. So I'm hoping that that works well together. For both of the tamaracks that I'm planning, I'm going to change the length from the original design. So the original design finishes around hip length, it looks like. I'm going to make this pink one a bit shorter. And then for the olive green one, I'm hoping to make it longer. I want to get as much coverage as I can for the cold mornings. So hopefully this will go really well. I've had my pattern printed by Shelley from Plan Make Do. Shelley is an absolute dream to work with. She's so knowledgeable about how sewists need their patterns printed. So I'm feeling really organized and I'm happy to have that ready to go. So yes, as I said, I need to get that into the wash, and then hopefully by later this afternoon, I'll be able to start cutting that out. The pattern includes welt pockets, but I think for my version, at least for the pink one, I'll be doing patch pockets instead, just to keep things simple. And then with the closures, I'm not sure if I'm going to do regular buttonholes or snaps. I'll see how I feel when I get to that point. Other plans for today include doing some cleaning up. I've got a friend coming over tonight. We're going to have Thai food and watch White Lotus. We did that on the very first episode, when the first episode came out. And then life has been so busy. I've had work things, parent-teacher nights, concerts, all sorts of things. And we just have not found another opportunity to do that again. So tonight we're going to watch 2 episodes and have Thai food together, which I'm really looking forward to. And in the meantime, jobs and hopefully getting started on this. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday now and the clocks have changed here. So we had an extra hour of sleep last night, which was very welcome. I was definitely ready for the sun to start rising a little bit earlier. I've been going to school in the dark recently, so it's nice for that to be over. I've got a big day of plans today. I've got lots I want to get done. It's now 8:20, and my first job today will be going to the supermarket. It is a family celebration tonight at my parents' house. My sister and I both have April birthdays, and so we are going to be having a family dinner tonight, and I said I would bring a cake. So I'm going to be baking a strawberry cake. So I'm going to do that this morning. And then this afternoon, I have my knitting club. So a group of friends who get together the first Sunday of every month at a local cafe. I haven't been able to go yet this year. Every other first Sunday of the month, I've had my children with me, so I've been unavailable. But today they're with their dad, so I'll be going to that. The owners of the cafe are expecting a little boy very soon. And so a lot of us in the knitting group have knitted a little present for that baby as well. I knit the Beloved Bonnet. This is a pattern by Tin Can Knits. It's very sweet with these I-cord ties. So hopefully they'll like that. I did the baby size. There was newborn, baby, child and adult, I think from memory. And I just used leftover 4-ply yarn this is from White Gum Wool. And I held that with this beautiful variegated blue and green and grey 4-ply that I had in my stash too. And yeah, that's what it turned into. So very sweet. I didn't really get anything else done yesterday, certainly not sewing wise. I didn't get any sewing done or cutting done. I did do a little bit of knitting though yesterday. I had a couple of breaks where I sat and knitted. And the project that I'm working on at the moment is the Glow Hair Frost Shawl by Stephen West, which is really, really fun to work on. And I'll show you where I'm up to. This pattern uses a fade of fingering weight and matching mohair. So I'm down to my darkest colour of the fingering weight now. I'm working on this lace pattern. And there isn't too much to go on this, so I'm nearly down to the final section. The rows are getting longer all the time, so they're taking a bit longer, but I'm really enjoying seeing this come together. I did accidentally make a mistake in this lace pattern. I noticed the other day, so I decided to just keep going with it. I couldn't figure out how to fix it or how to go back, so I'll show you, but I don't think it's too noticeable. So here's what it's supposed to look like. These beautiful sort of triangles, and they were going really well. You can see they've got a really nice point, and then somewhere along the way I made a mistake and the triangles don't have that point anymore, and then that continues for the rest of the row. They all seem to have this kind of hole at the bottom of them. So there's the last one I did well, and then they're all a bit wonky. Anyway, I think in the scheme of things, no one will notice, and I'm just going to keep going. And especially when I'm wearing it all wrapped up around myself as well, it's not going to be noticeable. So I decided to just keep going and not worry about it. So that's what I'll be working on at the knitting group this afternoon. So I should get a couple more rows of that done today as well. And then, yeah, tonight I'll be heading off to my parents' house. I'll pick up my children and we'll go there together, have a nice dinner. So yeah, again, I'm not sure if I'll get any sewing done today, but I've put it on my to-do list, at least to start cutting. But I'm not sure. That might be a bit ambitious. Anyway, I'm off to the shops now and I'll see how quickly I can get that done and what else I can fit into my morning. The forecast for today is about 22 degrees, but it's quite a cool morning. And today I'm wearing ready-to-wear jeans and a Billy sweatshirt in a French terry. The design is by an artist called Margaret Jean, and I've used the balloon sleeves version for this one, and I absolutely love the way it looks and feels. I've done my shopping and I'm home, and I've done a quick change because I want to film another video. So today's Sunday and I'm hoping to film a video to get published tonight, and that is about my plans for 2 blouses I'd like to make this month. So I thought I'd put on one of my blouses, and I'm now going to find the best place to film this morning, and hopefully, yeah, I'll get that one up tonight. After I've filmed this, I will make my cake. If I've still got time after that, I'll start cutting out my tamarack. That's where I ended up deciding to film. Here's my pile of fabrics I was talking about. And now it's time to get going on the cake making. So the recipe I've decided to make for the cake is a strawberry cake. It's by Rainbow Nourishments. She has a blog where she does all sorts of vegan desserts on it. So this one, I have to puree up some strawberries, make the cake batter. I think it'll be a double layered cake with a strawberry frosting, and I've got some cute lollies to decorate with as well. So hoping to make the cakes now and then decorate after my knitting group this afternoon. And yeah, we'll be leaving here to get to my parents around 4:45. So I'll get to work on the baking. All right, so the cakes are in the oven. It's 11:20 and I'm gonna get started on editing that video that I just made before. 22 minutes until I get the cakes out. Let's see how much of the video I can edit in that time. All right, they're out of the oven and they've definitely lost a lot of their pinkness, but they smell delicious. I'm also going to be frosting them with a strawberry frosting made out of frozen strawberries as well. So that should be nice and pink. I've edited about 5 minutes of my video in the time these were cooking, and I'm just going to keep going with it. It should be a pretty short video, maybe about 10 minutes long or even less. So I'll get back onto that and hopefully have that ready to publish tonight. All right, it's 12:40. I've just published my video. It's all up online now, so that's good. I need to get ready for my knitting group. I said I'd be there around 1. I like to support the business by buying lunch there. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing my friends and getting some more rows done on my shawl. The other one is kind of dipped quite a lot, so I'm a bit worried that this one is undercooked in the middle. Nothing I can do about it now though, so I'm just going to go ahead with it. I have just made some strawberry frosting, and that's made with pureed strawberries, icing sugar and vegan butter. So now I'm going to put a layer of strawberry jam on this cake, a layer of frosting, put the other cake on top, put more frosting, and then decorate it with some fresh strawberries and some little chocolates. My kids are due here in about 5 minutes, and then we will be heading off in the car for dinner. definitely not a cake decorator. I'm just kind of making this up. Don't know what I'm doing. Hopefully it'll work out okay. The main thing is that the cake doesn't collapse, really. As long as that doesn't happen, I'll be happy. All right. I did buy some strawberries, so I'll put them on the top as well, but so far, looks very festive. Hi everyone, it's Monday morning now. Last night was a lovely celebration. The cake that I made was really good. The strawberry frosting especially was very strawberry flavoured and yummy. It was interesting, the actual cake that had a whole lot of strawberry puree in it actually tasted a lot like banana cake. There was no banana in the cake, but I guess cooked strawberry puree has a very similar taste to banana. So that was interesting. I still feel full from last night, honestly, I ate so much. So today I'm heading down to my parents' beach house. They will be there as well. I've got a lot of packing to do for that. I want to take my sewing projects. I want to take schoolwork, exercise gear, knitting things. The temperatures are going to range. So today I think it's going to be 19 degrees, but by Friday it's going to be 27 and sunny. So, and then the nights will be quite cold, which I love. So I'm going to pack up for that and head off this afternoon. But this morning I'm actually getting a haircut and I've decided I'm going to do something quite dramatic. I'm going to get most of it chopped off and have a short hairstyle. My fringe, I'm finding it quite difficult to manage, and that's not going to be a quick fix because it would need to grow out, but I'll see what they can do. But I'm sort of thinking, I don't know, maybe this side looks good. This side always looks good. This side, I'm not sure about. So I'm hoping to get a short haircut, and I'll just talk to them about my options because I've got very thick hair and I don't want it to be sort of sticking out or anything like that. We'll see what they can do. And yeah, so the next time you see me, I'll look quite different, most likely. Today I'm wearing my Agostina top in a Dupes Designs linen, and then just jeans, and this is my Marlowe sweater, long one. I wear this all the time in a beautiful brushed sweater knit from My Design. I got a couple of presents last night that I'm very excited about. One of them from one of my sisters was a voucher for Dupes Designs, so I'm looking forward to buying some more fabric from them the next time they have one of their releases. And my brother gave me an Etsy voucher, so that should come in handy as well. My mum gave me a surprise present. Like, I don't know what it is yet. She said to look out in the mail for a parcel every month for the next 4 months. So maybe some kind of subscription to something. I'll let you know when the first one arrives. I've got a parcel coming today. That is my fabric for my other quilt coach, the one that I spent lots of money on. That was kind of like my birthday present to myself. So that's arriving. It's scheduled to arrive between 11 and 1. So that should arrive before I leave, and I'll be able to show you that as well. But right now, I better get ready to go to the haircut. Ta-da! Here we go. I did it. So it'll take a little bit of getting used to, I think, but much quicker to get ready in the mornings, hopefully. Really quick to wash and dry, and hopefully just a nice change. So my fringe still needs to grow out a bit. I want the fringe to sort of blend in a little bit more. And at the moment it's pretty short, but you get the idea. All right, so it's nearly 1 o'clock and I'm going to be packing up to go to the beach soon. But when I got home, I had a parcel at the door, so I thought I should open it. This is my Design delivery. I've just cut it open, but I haven't looked inside yet. So hopefully I'm happy with the colors of the fabric and the feeling of them. So this is for my Tamarack jacket, my long one, assuming the first one goes to plan. Here we go. So they often include little samples when you order from My Design. So I've got a little sample of a CU at 6 viscose in here. And a sample of Atelier Brunette gabardine. And then here are my fabric choices. So for the outside, I've gone with a heavy linen in this olive green, which does feel quite heavy. So it will definitely make a nice warm jacket. And then the lining is this Lady McElroy. Oh, also got the matching thread. This beautiful Lady McElroy fabric. And when I was at my knitting catch up yesterday, I was talking to Sian, who's the obsessive maker. And she's made some Tamarack jackets, and she asked me if I was going to make mine reversible, and I hadn't really thought about it, but she said it would be quite easy to do. So I probably will try and do that, seeing though that's such a beautiful fabric. I might sometimes like to have that on the outside. I did publish my video yesterday, and I've been enjoying the comments I've been getting on it. So that was my one about my April plans and the blouses I'm going to be making, and also my Tamarack jacket. And it's been really great to read everyone's comments and opinions about the fact that the So April blouse challenge is a judged challenge. And it's been really interesting to read people's ideas and perspectives on that. And I think, and one thing that I hadn't really considered, and I really appreciate people pointing out if they are in this case, is that some people really like to be judged and feel like, because there are so few actually judged challenges, that it's really nice to have that opportunity and to feel like that their efforts are potentially going to be rewarded. And then also it might inspire them to try new techniques they haven't learned before, or to really put in more effort perhaps than they wouldn't have if it was a random draw. So I definitely appreciate that feedback as well. And yeah, as I said in that video, I haven't decided whether I'll enter, but I just wanted to let people know that it is a judged challenge, because it just might impact the way you think about it, especially if you weren't already aware. So it's time for me to get packing. I've made a list, so hopefully it won't take me too long. I do anticipate it will still probably take me 90 minutes to find everything, pack everything, and be ready to go. Let's see how I go. I'm going to aim to leave by 2:30. All right, so it's 2:45, a little bit later than I was hoping, but not too bad. So off I go, and yeah, looking forward to a few days at the beach now. I made it here, and it's a beautiful evening, and I'm off to the beach for a walk. Hi everyone, it's Tuesday now, and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've spent the morning and the early part of the afternoon doing schoolwork. I'm trying to write a booklet for my Year 12 class, and I haven't made as much progress as I would have liked, but I've started it, and I think a lot of the time that's the hard thing, is just getting started on something. So I've done that, and now it's time for me to face that same thing with my Tamarack jacket. I am hesitant to do it. I still feel really nervous about it. There's something stopping me from wanting to do it. I've just got to get started. So the step one is just cutting out those pattern pieces. That doesn't sound too scary. So I'm going to do that now and then see how much further I can get. I'm back from a beach walk and I'm now going to start cutting up my fabric for the Tamarack. In the pattern it does say to cut out your front and your back out of the pattern pieces and then attach them to the batting and then quilt them as the actual pattern pieces. But I was talking to Sian, who's in my knitting group, the Obsessive Maker, and she's made the Tamarack before, and her suggestion was to cut out rectangles of the fabrics in a bit bigger size than I'll need for the pattern pieces, quilt those, and then cut out the pattern pieces from the quilted fabric. So that's what I'm going to do. So I've got my pattern pieces cut out and I'm going to cut out pieces of the fabric and the batting and the lining that are a bit bigger than what I'll need. And then after that, I'll sandwich them together, quilt them, and then cut out the pattern pieces from that. So probably right now I'll just get up to cutting out the large rectangles. But we'll see. There's a table tennis table at this house, so this is going to make the perfect cutting table, which will be nice. I won't be on the floor to do this job, which will be a nice change. Everybody, it is Wednesday now, and as you can see, it is absolutely beautiful here today. I think the forecast is it's supposed to get to about 21 degrees later. It was a very crisp and cold morning though, which is perfect autumn weather in my opinion. So my parents have headed back to Melbourne today and I'm here alone, and I am determined to have a really productive day, starting with schoolwork. So I'm going to set my alarm for 90 minutes and then I'm going to go for a walk to the bakery. And then I'm going to come back and do another 90 minutes and I'm going to see how much I can get done in that 3 hours. And then I'd like to keep the afternoon free for sewing. So that's the plan. I'm going to try and stay focused this morning and get a lot done because, yeah, as soon as I can get this work done, the better. So here we go. So I'm I'm sticking to my plan so far. I've done an hour and a half of work and now I'm walking to the local general store where they sell some fresh bread, which is what I'll get for lunch today. Beautiful, beautiful day. So that general store has been there forever, for as long as my parents have been coming down here, which is a long time. But it's only just recently being sold, and the new owners have rented it out to a bakery, which is awesome because now we can just walk to get fresh bread, which we could never do before. So about a 5-minute walk, and I've got a seeded sourdough, delicious. Head back and do another 90 minutes of work now. That's my other 90 minutes done. I feel like I've made good progress with my work, and now I'm going to have some lunch and sew this afternoon. So yesterday when I was cutting out my pattern pieces for the Tamarack jacket, the lining was fine. I had heaps of the material for the lining, but I didn't have enough for the outer fabric. So that was a little bit tricky. I'll definitely have to shorten this one, probably by about 3 inches. Just to fit the pattern pieces on. So my plan this afternoon is to quilt each of those large rectangles I've cut out, and once I've quilted them, then I'll be able to cut the pattern pieces out and then get started on the construction of the jacket. Okay, so I have quilted my first rectangle, and I decided to just go with straight lines 1.5 inches apart. So you can see I've done that. Foolishly, I didn't check whether I was lined up with the lining. So I just got started on the front and I did my straight lines, and then I turned it over and realized that I hadn't actually been straight on the back. So they're a little bit off kilter on the back. Look, it's just the lining. It doesn't really matter. I probably won't wear it with that way out anyway. So it's a good lesson for the next one. I set myself another alarm to make sure I get out for a proper walk before dinner, and that's just gone off. So I'm going to finish the sewing here. I made a start on quilting the next panel, and this is going to be for the back of the quilt coat. I was a bit more careful about actually lining up the grain on the back and the front. So the lines are a lot straighter, not that you can really tell, but they're a lot straighter on this one. And I think that's probably where I'm going to leave the sewing for tonight. It gets pretty dark in here. There's not a lot of lighting. The light's kind of broken, so it's not the best light for sewing at night. So I think when I get back from the walk, I'll do some knitting, make some dinner, do some more knitting. Probably won't do any more schoolwork. I was about to say I would, but I don't think I will. I'll save that again for tomorrow. Yeah, I have felt good about ticking off all the things I wanted to at least make a start on today. So coming along well, feels really nice. and I'm looking forward to keeping on going with that tomorrow. Thursday now, and it's going to be another beautiful day here. The forecast is for 25 this afternoon, so I'd really love to get to the beach and do some reading and relaxing there later. So I'm going to set my alarm for 2 hours here this morning to get some schoolwork done. It's about 9 a.m. right now. After that, I'd like to do some more of the quilting of the panels for my jacket, and then I'm hoping to keep the afternoon free and see what I feel like doing then. So I'm going to get into my work. I'm going to turn on Do Not Disturb, and I'm going to work as hard as I can for the next couple of hours. I actually did end up doing some more schoolwork for a couple of hours last night. Once I'd done some knitting and watching TV for a bit, I decided to make the most of the quiet time in the house and just do some more work, especially because I knew that during the daylight, I would much prefer to either be at the beach or in that bright light where I can sew. So it made sense to use those dark nighttime hours while I was still feeling pretty awake to get some more work done, and then hopefully that will mean I can make more of today. I just had to interrupt my sewing to say, if you have not already watched Love on the Spectrum on Netflix, you must. It is one of the best shows. Everything about it, the casting, just the respect with which they treat everyone on it. It's just beautiful to watch. You will love it. I promise you will love it. Please watch it. Okay, so I just finished quilting the second panel. This is going to be the back of the quilt, and I'm really happy with how that's come out. Unfortunately though, in my planning, I had forgotten that when you're doing quilting, you use a lot more thread. There are a lot more lines you're sewing, and I didn't buy enough thread. So I've just, as I finish that row, just run out of thread. So that is all I'm going to be able to do of that today. And I'm going to cut out one of my shirts instead. So I need to decide whether I'm going to cut out the patina blouse or the pimpont blouse. I think that's what it's called. I might even just cut them both out, seeing though I've got the big table here, and then see what takes my fancy after that. Good morning everyone, it is Friday now. It's a much cooler day today, perfect for sitting here and getting some more work done. So I've been doing a couple of hours of work, and now I want to go and get a little bit more done on the patina blouse that I was cutting out yesterday. I ended up only cutting out that one. I didn't get time to do the other one, so I'm going to start with the patina. My next jobs I think is to cut out the interfacing and then do all of those sort of initial jobs like stay stitching and the darts. So if I can get that done, that would be good. And then quick lunch and a quick walk, and then I'll be heading back to Melbourne. So before I pick up my kids, I want to go to Spotlight and pick up some thread so that I can continue on my quilt coat over the weekend. So that's a job I have to do. I'm taking my children out for dinner and to a movie tonight. We're going to see Dogman with some friends. So perhaps a tiny bit more crafting when I get home from that, maybe some knitting, but apart from that, that's pretty much my week. So as usual, I've been overly ambitious with what I thought I might get done. I hadn't anticipated my schoolwork taking this long, and I'm still nowhere near finished. So that's a bit disappointing because there'll still be a lot of time dedicated to that over the next few days or week, but it will make my next term a lot easier. So it'll all be worthwhile in the end. But yeah, a lot of work still to go on that quilt coat, obviously. But I've made a start in it, and that's the main thing, because I think it was just making that start was such a hurdle for me. I put it off for so long. So I'm pleased to have at least started it. It's 2:40 p.m. and it's time to drive home. I'm going to go home via Spotlight and get some new thread, then be home in time to unpack, put some washing on, and then go and get my children.